And yeah, well, let's just skip right to the incident. I mean, that's the real important part of this chapter and this whole section. Really, is that this 4-year-old girl fell into a creek. Let me play a bit of the reading here because I like the way that Joe reads this part. All right, so the kid's out in the backyard playing around the creek.
She shrieked as she slid down the bank into the creek, and Andy shrieked too, falsetto like a woman. That sound, his own, would stay in his mind for the rest of his life. Andy would remember that shriek above everything else in that whole incident. And years later, he would feel slight shame at having emitted it.
So a little kid's like dying in front of him, and he's embarrassed for the rest of his life that he sounded like a woman when he shrieked.
Oh my God.
He writes this masculine insecurity like so well. It's really interesting.
It's very, yeah, he knows it well.
Yeah. So he drags this kid out of the creek. He catches her like he's an outfield. I don't know baseball terms, but like
A catcher in the rye. You can just say that. How about that?
yeah, he catches this kid as she's rolling down this creek. He's standing in the water and he's like catching a grounder or something, and heaves her out of the creek. Like he's in shock, she's freaking out, etc. And this I thought was interesting here. Christine was starting to roll back down the bank toward the water again, so he had to heave her up the hill by inches, and she was too terrified to help the process. So try to envision that picture in your mind. Does it remind you of anything?
Was he happy when he did it? I guess he wasn't because he was too busy. That shriek was reverberating through his head. He couldn't be happy.
Yeah, no way. He was too embarrassed. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have closed the video because I have another great clip of Joe reading. So he saves the girl and he like gets a blanket out of his house to wrap her up and try to dry her off a little bit.
I'm sorry. Before you do that, do you see probably like 24 inches behind Doughbrain to his right, stage left?
His right.
Yeah.
Karl Marx!
I saw that earlier too.
Yeah, he's set up in Prairie Lights, kind of in front of like a political section, I guess. Yeah, there's some marks there. There's George Marshall, a book about the Roosevelts. Salman Rushdie right over here.
Yeah.
It's an
It's
interesting
like,
backdrop.
George Sherman biography.
Yeah. Lots of intellectual heavyweights. He's standing on the shoulders of giants as he reads this. Okay, so he drags the kid back over to her house, like, hey, your kid fell in the creek. Come on. Here she is.
Lord, open up! Open up! Your daughter fell in the creek!
I just like the way he yells there. Good emoting.
That'd be a good like cell phone ringtone. Like anytime anyone calls you.
Open up!
Your daughter's in the creek!
Yeah, I'll clip that for anyone who wants to use it.
Yeah, it's on touch tones.